As rain and flooding tore through North Queensland, one family was celebrating the greatest joy of all. Kharma Greer was 13 days overdue and was set to be taken by ambulance to Townsville Hospital. There was just one problem though. The flooding meant all roads into town were closed.
That's when the soon-to-be mum's water broke. She was then rushed to Ingham Hospital to have a C-section, and a few hours later, welcome baby Khirralaa to the world. Kharma Greer and her daughter Khirralaa join us now in Ingham. Hello, congratulations.
Hello.
How are you both going?
Thank you. Yeah, we're doing really, really well. Very, very good. Thank you.
Oh, tell us about this journey. You go into labour, there's flooding, and then what?
So I'm at Ingham Hospital, and they try to rush me to Townsville to continue the induction process. And because there was no roads leading for the ambulance to pick me up or take me down to Townsville, I ended up staying there overnight with my waters broken. And we made the decision on the Saturday morning that it was in baby's best interest to have a C-section. And she was brought into the world probably about 40 minutes after that decision was made.
Wow. Kharma, she is so beautiful, and I know you've got your hands full there. Did you think you were going to make it to the hospital at all?
Because I've had a planned stretch and sweep, so the induction was already planned, and my waters were broken at the hospital, so it was kind of, because it was well overdue. It wasn't an issue getting there because it was when I was there, that's when the storm actually hit.
Right. Okay, well, that's good. So how did things go in the hospital? So
being in the hospital was probably the biggest help overall, especially when it was absolute chaos outside. It was a place for us to have warm food, a bed. We had access to electricity, warm showers, simple things that you take for granted. So we got to stay there for probably six days overall. So we got to miss I personally missed with my baby the majority of the storm at home. Her dad and my best friend, they were trekking back and forward to check on the state of the house during this time. So being at hospital was probably the biggest godsend that I could have possibly had. So I'm very grateful for Khirralaa coming late, fashionably.
Yeah, it's a nervous time at the best of times, but when you're worried about everything else going on outside of the hospital at the same time, what about family? Were they able to be there with you?
So I've just relocated from Sydney, so most of my family is still down south. But yeah, that's why my best friend, she travelled up from Brisbane, and baby's dad also travelled up from Sydney. So when they were here, they had plans to leave a little bit sooner, but they were also stuck just with Khirralaa Creek Bridge crossing basically disintegrating. So my best friend had to stay an extra week and a half longer than she was planning on. So it's just, yeah, it's impacted a lot of people's travel, I suppose, as well as, their homes and things like that.
Yeah, well, we are so glad everything's worked out. Yeah. And, you can't stop a baby coming, can you?
No.
Yeah.
And you've got a story to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Kharma. Well done.
Thank you, Kharma.
No worries. Thank you for having me.